She's killing it. She's talking about fired her butt. She fired her butt. You know really fired her butt? She, boom, combated his ass right out the room. That's what happened. So ladies and gentlemen, we have Miss Elite. She's elite. Smoking gorgeous. She's elite. She's a 4-star diamond coach from St. Louis. I said? St. Louis, Nabisco. Let's bring up to the stage the rock star of the UFT, Miss.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Mark. I'm so excited to be here. Last year, sitting amongst all of you, I was a 1-star diamond. Let's see, I had been a coach for just a little over a year at that point. And when I started as a coach, I looked at Pete and Sue and I said, I'm going to be a 15-star diamond. That is my goal. Of course, I'm not there yet, and I'm not even close to where I want to be. But that's what makes this business so incredible. Because we all have dreams and we all have goals. And we all have a different reason that's unique to us for why we are on this team. And it's unique to you, and you don't have to want to be a 15-star diamond coach. Maybe you just want to make $1,000 extra, or you want to help your neighbor or your family. But it's important to you, and just make sure that your goals are unique to you. So, I'm not very good with these things. The first thing I want to talk about today is a why. And a why is really important, and I know you guys hear it a lot. But sometimes I don't think coaches really understand the importance of a why. When I got started as a coach, I despised my boss. Not just didn't like what I was doing, I literally almost cried every day that I went home from work. Sorry, I get really emotional. He just made me feel like I was worthless, and at the same time, he dumped all of the work on me because he knew that he could count on me to get it done. So I wanted something else, but I didn't know how to find it, and I just kept looking. I just kept searching, and I was also an Ironman triathlete. My upline sponsor used to run an event company for triathlons. And when she brought the opportunity to me, she said, I've been with Beachbody, and you can help people with health and fitness. And that was my dream. I thought, I always wanted to help people with health and fitness. In the back of my mind, I always wanted to have my own business, but I honestly didn't know how I'd be able to do it and afford the type of lifestyle that the financial industry provided to me. So my why really was to fire my boss, but it was also deeper than that. It was to have control of my future, to have control of my income, to not have someone make me feel belittled every day, to have that control and not have a boss tell me what I could and could not do. And when I found Beachbody, my excitement and passion for life was restored. I was literally depressed. And so for me, my why was more than just firing my boss. It was being able to have purpose, being able to have control, being able to have my life back. And it didn't matter what roadblock, what hurdle came my way. I was just happy to have this opportunity, and so nobody was going to stop me. And I remember my first 2 weeks as a coach. I probably came across, 100 no's. I didn't care. I'm like, okay, you said no. I gotta move on. I gotta find the person that's ready to get started. And my first coach is Yvette, and Yvette's here today. She was here last year as well. And Yvette trusted in me, and I think the reason why I was able to go straight to, Emerald in 2 weeks and Diamond in 60 days was because I had a why that was so strong that I didn't care how many people I had to talk to. And my passion and excitement for life was just radiating from within me. And because of that why, it was so easy to share my story with other people. So that being said, I want to challenge you all to take a look at your why. And if it's you want to fire your boss, why do you want to fire your boss? And when you come up with that answer, ask yourself another why. It's what I call the 5th because I want others to see that there is a way out of the corporate world. There is a way to have that passion and excitement for life back again. There is a way to do something that you love every single day, because you get to make this business your own. You don't have to build like I do. Maybe you don't like challenge groups, or maybe you don't like fit clubs. You don't have to do that. You can find a way that's unique to you. And that's what's so incredible. So the test that I'm talking about, the fifth degree of your why, is my why now is to inspire other people to believe, to dream, to have passion, to have excitement, to just radiate with life every single day. Now, why do I want that? I want that because I found that, and I was starting to lose hope that it ever existed. And why is that important to me? Because I want my friends and my family to be able to hang out with me, honestly, during the day, so I'm not having to work, all day long. Because the rest of my friends and family are still working 8 to 5, and I see how miserable that is. So you keep asking yourself, why, and get to that deep emotional why that's important to you. Really quickly, that being said about why, I'd like to have Jamie Jones come up. She is a coach of mine. She's been a coach with me for 5 months. She is a qualifying 2-star diamond. And she's also from San Luis Obispo, California. And she has fired 2 bosses in 5 months' time. So I just want to have her share a little bit about her why, so that you can see the power of a why, and having a really strong one will help push you forward through any adversity.
Thank you all for, I feel so honored to be on stage, and bear with me, this is totally stepping outside of my comfort zone. So I apologize if my voice is a little shaky, but I'm excited to share my why with you. I met Kristi through, she's one of my brother's friends, and I didn't know anything about Beachbody. We met, 2-3 years ago. She didn't introduce the opportunity to me until I went to her about 8 months ago, and asked what it was all about. I had been working the 8 to 5 job. I had worked many different jobs, and just was not about going into work and having someone control my time. So, with a show of hands, how many of you work the 8 to 5 job? I know that was asked earlier. And how many of you have to ask for that time off? How many of you only have a certain amount of set paid vacation? Okay, that is why I do this. I do not want to be told that you can only go home for Christmas for 2 days, see your family, see your sister and brother for 2-3 days, and then you have to be back to work. I don't want to be told that I can only go on vacation with, my friends for, a couple days and have to come back for work, or not make enough money and have my bonus be only the $34 that it would be. And most importantly, Beachbody gives us the opportunity to help people in a way that no other corporation that I've found allows us to help people. We're able to impact people's lives in a way that, like I said, no one out there allows us to do. And lastly, Beachbody allows us to grow personally and professionally. I think that's something that's so important. Personal development is so important, and I haven't found that in any other job that I've had. So that is ultimately my why, and thank you so much, Kristi, for letting me share and being such a great leader.
Thank you, and Jamie's the perfect example, because she's had her own roadblocks and her own struggles, and you wouldn't know it. But we all do, and as leaders, I think we have more struggles than everybody else. So it's easy to look at an elite coach, all the elite coaches out there, I think there's 97 of them, and say, well, they can do it, but I don't think I can. But you can. If that's your why, and if that's your goal, then you can do it. But you have to believe and have confidence in yourself that you can achieve that goal. Because last year I sat here as a 1-star diamond coach, and in July, I only had 38 elite points, just to give you guys an idea. And I reverse engineered those goals. I sat down and I'm going to do this. And you can too if that's your goal. So the next thing I want to talk about is goals. And goals are really important, and I know everybody, again, always talks about goals, but sometimes I think people just put it on the back burner. They get going through the day-to-day, and they don't stay focused. And it's like a map. you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? And so for me, I write out my goals at least once a week, but normally every day. I sit down every morning before I start my to-do list, and I write out my goals. And I write out everything I want to achieve. One of my goals is top 10 elite coach. It's a big goal. There's some awesome coaches out there. It's a really big goal, but I will do everything in my power and everything to help my team and move forward in their businesses so that I can achieve that goal. Will I get there? I better. But, I go into everything thinking I'm going to be a top 10 elite coach. There's no doubt in my mind. Does that mean I achieve every single goal I lay out? No, I don't. In fact, as you can see, I'm not a 15-star diamond, and my goal is to be 15-star diamond at my 2-year mark. We're a little over the 2-year mark, and I'm not quite there yet, but I'll get there. So, another thing I want to ask you all to do is to write out your goals. And your goals will change. Mine change all the time. One of my goals, as you asked me 3 months ago, was to bring my fiance home from his job. He loves work. That's fine, he's crazy because I'm not into that. And he is limited on vacation. It's driving me crazy because I'm like, I want to go on vacation a lot more now. I have more than 15 days of vacation. So we're going to have to work on that a little bit. So that goal's changed because that's not his goal. And I can't make other people's goals my goals. So when it comes to your team, you really need to talk with them and understand their goals and what they're wanting to accomplish. Because their goals aren't your goals. And not everyone will want to be a diamond coach. But if you help them where they're at, they will be inspired. They will have more passion and excitement for life. And you just never know when someone's going to come back and say, okay, I'm ready to get started. Or I have bigger goals. Or because of you, I believe in myself again. And I want to do more with this business. I'm ready to take it to the next level. So my challenge is I want you all to write out your goals. And when you write them out, I don't want you to just write it out as a goal. Write out, I will achieve, and put the date. Because if there's no deadline, what are you shooting for? You have to have a deadline. And like I said, that doesn't mean that you're going to always achieve those deadlines. But for me, I love, if I don't hit that deadline, like that's an awesome story for my team because I know they're not going to hit every goal they set out to hit right away. My goal for 15 stars has been continuously pushing out deadline after deadline, and that's okay, but you just strive forward, and you push harder, and you learn more, because we have to grow into our goals. It's great if you say you want to be a diamond coach or a 15-star diamond. I have a lot of growing to get there. I have a lot to learn. Pete Penn is a 15-star diamond, and there's a reason for that. He grew into that goal. I want to learn and be mentored by people like that. And that's also another reason why Beachbody is so incredible, because we have so many leaders around us. Use them. Utilize them. Call them. Reach out to them. Say, these are my goals. Will you help me? They will. They've been there before. They've gone through it. They can help you reach your goals. But, again, to understand your goals, you have to understand your why. So remember the 5th degree of your why. And now on to reverse engineering. My coaches come to me often and say, Kristi, okay, I want to get to diamond. How do I do that? Will you help me reverse engineer this goal? Or a lot of them are income. Kristi, I want to make $2,000 a month. How do I do that? The first thing I want to say to you is make sure that when you're helping your coaches to reverse engineer their goals, that you're reverse engineering their goals and not yours. So ask them, what do you want to achieve? And what do we have to do to get you there? And let them see if they have the answer. And they might not have the answer, but keep asking questions to kind of help them reach that. So when it comes to reverse engineering your goals, here's a perfect example. If you have a coach who is an emerald coach, maybe they have 4 active coaches, 3 on one leg, on their right leg, and 1 on the left leg. And they say, Kristi, I want to be a diamond coach. Okay, well you have 3 active coaches and 1 active coach on each side. What do you need to do to get there? I don't know. At that point, I know that I needed to do more to help them understand that. So at that point, you need to tell them, okay, you need 4 active coaches on each leg with an emerald on each side. So to do that, you need to sponsor 4 more coaches. Do you think you can sponsor 2 coaches this month, 2 next month? Or do you think you can do all 4 this month? Let's shoot for all 4, right? So that's one way you can reverse engineer goals and break it down for your coaches. I'm really big on reverse engineering cycle bonuses because a lot of coaches want to know, how do I get to $2,000 a month? How do I get to $4,000 a month? How do I get to $5,000? My goal currently is to get to $5,000 a week. And so to do that, what I do is I take $5,000 and I divide it by 18, because a Star Diamond cycle bonus is $18. And feel free to ask questions when I'm done with this if they'll get a little confusing. You take 5,000, you divide it by 18, and if anybody has a calculator, because I didn't do the math prior, let me know. But 5,000 divided by 18 should be some number. Does anyone have it? 277?
277.77.
Perfect, 278. So that means I need to cycle 278 times in 1 week. For those of you that don't know, a cycle bonus happens when you have 200 volume on one leg and 100 volume on the other leg. So it's a total of 300 to have 1 cycle bonus. I build my legs evenly. So because my legs are even, with 277, okay, so now you guys are going to have to do a little more math for me. So 278 times 300.
83,000.
83,000? Perfect, thank you. So my team volume needs to be 83,000 a week for me to earn $5,000 a week. So I hope that through that example, you guys can reverse engineer your goals. If you have certain income goals you're reaching for, I also take and break that down further. So if my team volume needs to be 83,000, how many coaches do I need? What's the volume for that, and so on. It gets a little into depth, but it's really important to reverse engineer your goals so that you know how to get there. You can't just say, I want to be diamond, or I want to be 15-star diamond. Do you know what 15-star diamond takes? Do you know what 5-star diamond takes? Do you know what emerald is? If you're a new coach, you have to know what emerald is if you're shooting for emerald. And I oftentimes will have coaches say, I want to get to emerald, and they don't. I'll ask them, do you know what it takes to get there? And they don't. So make sure that when you are speaking with your coaches that you sit down and really help reverse engineer their goals, as well as reverse engineer your goals. And this is one of my biggest techniques with my team. I have multiple coaches that are pushing for elite this year, and I reverse engineer all their elite goals so that they know how many coaches they have to sponsor a month and how many of those coaches they need Learning Success Club each month so that they can reach elite and achieve those goals this year. Does anyone have any questions? Because I know that was kind of a lot. No? You sure? Okay. And the next thing is to-do lists. So once you reverse engineer your goals, you have to set that to-do list. A little bit about my own to-do list is I have a daily to-do list that I write down the beginning of the week on Sunday nights. I sit down and I write out my to-do list for Monday. My to-do list, the daily to-do list is very basic, and I hope that all of you have a lot of the same daily to-do list. So I'm going to go through that. I post to Facebook 3 to 5 times a day, minimum. Because if you run into a friend or family member and they don't know what you're doing, you're not doing your job. And I see coaches all the time, they're like, well, nobody comes to me, they come to you. Like, yeah, because I let them know what I'm doing, I tell them my story. So that's on my daily to-do list, 3 to 5 times a day to Facebook. If you have other social media, posting on those, I do Instagram a little bit, trying to figure it out. I'm always learning. The other thing on my daily to-do list is to make a minimum of 20 contacts. Minimum. I push for 30. You can push for 2. My goals are big. But your to-do list is based off of your goals and your why not, my goals and my why. My other thing that I do daily is post in all of my challenge groups and all of my coach training groups. Message 5 coaches personally to check in with them. And also schedule all of my weekly calls, one-on-one calls with my team. do all of these things before I do anything else. Don't get taken by the little red notification on your Facebook page and start scrolling through Facebook, and before you know it, 2 hours have gone by and you've been sitting on Facebook. Your to-do list should be done before you're going through Facebook. It's really important that you help your coaches with their to-do list. I have a coach on my team. She's Jamie's coach, Tanya. And Tanya is a rock star. She's a diamond coach. She went diamond in 93 days. Sorry, Jamie, you went diamond in 45 days, and I didn't shout that out. But Tanya went diamond in 93 days. So awesome to see Jamie being such an incredible leader and really helping her team. But Tanya is an incredible leader. She has 2 coaches, very different. One does everything on her own. She just takes it and runs with it. I mean, she's earned Emerald and Success Club in, I don't know, like a week or 2. She's incredible. The other one needs a lot more direction. So Tanya writes out her to-do list every morning, like we've had her. Actually, I don't think we did. She's just that good. And text messages it to her coach. So if you're not doing a to-do list, your coaches aren't doing to-do lists. How's anybody getting anything done? I mean, honestly, like you need a to-do list. And what a great way! I just learned this from her. I drove down from San Luis Obispo with Tanya, and she was telling me this, and I don't always know anything from my team. They don't know, but they help my business grow more than just being on my team. They help me grow as a person because I get all these little tips and tricks from them. Why didn't I think of that? Really? Why didn't I think of that? So I'm now taking a picture of my to-do list and sending it to my coaches every day so that they know what to go off of. And now we're moving on to time management. And that kind of goes back to the Facebook notifications. The thing that I see the most with coaches is they waste a lot of time. Oh, I'm so busy. When I became a coach, I was working 40 hours a week. I was training for an Ironman triathlon another 20 hours a week. I was busy. I would wake up at 4 a.m. I would work out from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. I would drive to work. On my way to work, I would call friends and family on the East Coast. You guys all up. And I would just work at 6:30. From 6:30 to 2:30 were the hours that I was at work. I didn't take a lunch because I wanted to save on time so that I could work Beachbody more in the evenings.
Just so everybody gets a concept, let them know how far your triathlons are.
Okay.
This is the most incredible thing, she told me.
So then after I got off work, I'd go and work out again for a few hours, go home, eat dinner, and build my business in the evening, mostly through social media, and phone calls if I could, but a lot of times it was pretty late at night. So there are no excuses. You have to figure out a schedule. And I use Google Calendar. Google Calendar is my life. Even now, working business full-time, I use Google Calendar every day. I get notifications on my phone. I have a task list. I have to get through my to-do list early enough in the morning before I start my one-on-one accountability calls with my coaches. If I don't get through that to-do list, I'm going to have to do it later. I'm going to have to work later, and it's my fault because I got sidetracked. And we all get sidetracked. But having that schedule, that calendar to keep you on point, put it in your calendar. I put in my calendar my workouts. I put in my calendar my one-on-one coach calls. I put in my calendar time to set aside to do my to-do list. And then I have some time set aside to do all those extra things on your to-do list that you want to get to but aren't necessarily the daily things that need to be done. And sorry, get back to what you're saying. So an Ironman triathlon is a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike, and a 26.2-mile run. So So my training was very, very intense, and I was very exhausted, and waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 10 p.m. it was a lot. But my goals were that important to me. It didn't matter if I had to work my ass off for 2 years. I was going to do it because I was going to get out of my job. And if your goals are important to you, you will make those sacrifices. Too often I see people, yeah, I would love to be financially free, or I would love to look like you, Kristi, I just don't have the time. And I'm like, you make the time. I had to make the time. I had to sacrifice a lot for my own training. I had to sacrifice a lot to get my business going to where I wanted so I could fire my boss. But you have to choose those sacrifices. Like Craig was saying earlier, or I think Donna mentioned that Craig said to her, go home and find a sacrifice. Like, sacrifice something to make it work. Because if your goals are important to you, you will make it work. And something I said to my team the other day is, you have a choice. We all have a choice. You can have excuses, you can have fear, or you can have results. And you can't have both. So when you sit there in fear and you're like, yeah, I want to be a diamond coach, but you walk around going through your business day to day, not stepping outside of your own comfort zone, you're not going to get to that level that you want to be at. Because when you ask your coaches, as a new coach, I know it's so hard, it's tough to step outside of those comfort zones, to make that first contact, to say, hey, I want you on my team. Hey, have you ever considered being in my challenge group? It's tough, I get it. I still get nervous sometimes. I would shake. When I would talk with people, I would shake, my voice would squeak, I would get all sweaty, my heart was racing, I didn't want to send a message, and I'd send it, and then some of the responses back, yeah, sure, some of them were negative. Do I really want those people in my life? But the positive ones were like, Kristi, this is incredible what you're doing. How cool, maybe someday I'll do that. Oh, ding, ding, ding. Well, you can. You can do it. And so you have to really make a choice, because if you're asking your coaches to get outside of their comfort zone, and maybe, yes, you've been outside that comfort zone already, but you still have comfort zones that you're in, and you got to get out of them. Because if you don't, you're not growing. If you're not growing, your business isn't growing. If your business isn't growing, you're not reaching your goals. Because I would assume that every single one of you are in here because you have goals, and you want to grow, and you want to get better, and you want to inspire others to get better. And the only way you can do that is if you step outside of your comfort zone. Is if you get out of your own way. Is if you push outside of all of your fears. Don't just outside of your new coaches. Something that I am scared of is YouTube videos. I'm terrified. I hate YouTube videos. I hate seeing myself on camera. And I never, well, you see me makeup today, but I rarely do my makeup. This is like a once in a 6-month thing. And it's only because I'm up here in front of all of you. So the thought of YouTube videos scared the hell out of me, because everybody, all the other top coaches out there, all do YouTube videos and they get all prepped and pretty and ready, and I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. So why do that? I had to push outside of that comfort zone. My team helped me push outside of that comfort zone. I started doing YouTube videos. They kind of suck, but I'll get better. The only way I'm going to learn is by trying and by getting started. And everything that I do, I push outside of my own comfort zones, because I can't ask that of my team if I'm not doing it myself. So don't get complacent. Get outside of your own comfort zone. Because it's up to you, and there's so many people out there right now that need our help and that need our inspiration. My family is a prime example. It took my dad 2 years before he started using Shakeology. My family is morbidly obese, and it pains me to say that because I'm helping everybody else, but they don't want my help. But that's okay, because I can still help a lot of people, and I know that it might be 3 years, it might be 4, it might be 5, it might be 10. But I'm going to do anything that I can in my power to help them. And you guys all have the same opportunity. So don't give up on that opportunity. You have to understand your why, have big goals, dream bigger, because people need our help. And you guys, as soon as you signed up as a coach, you became a leader. And you are a leader, even if you don't even know it yet, because the day you signed up, people are looking up to you. You made a commitment when you became a coach. Help others, help inspire them, lead the way, lead the path. I expect next year that we will have 20 elite coaches in this room, because I know there's a bunch of you pushing for it, and there's no reason why we couldn't. We have Pete, we have Sue, we have the support of you at T, we have wonderful leaders in this organization, and we have heart, we have passion, and we're real, and we're genuine people, and we're all relatable. And there's people out there looking for an answer, looking for a solution, And we have to give back to them. Thank you.